Good morning. Holy hangover. I rode the night train a little too long with some of my favorite riders on pros last night via Zoom, and I am paying the fiddler this morning. Okay, so last night on Discord, Fudo had messaged me asking about how many profiles I had, and I only have one, so it turned out that somebody who was on Discord duplicitly. So what happened was he deleted that profile because he runs the page and he's really, really protective and good at what he does. So thank you for that. But it turned out that it was me twice because I have a separate Discord app on my phone. So during the conversation, he said, hey, jump over to the collaboration group because we're writing, each one of us are taking turns writing paragraphs and haikus in a group. And we always publish the results. And I thought it sounded really cool. And I'd never done that. And for me, it was more of a curiosity, right? Because I have been reading Fudo. I've been reading Mijong and Dave K for a long time. And I talked to Dave K on the phone with his wife way back in like early 16, late 15, I think it was. And, but I've never talked to Mijong, and until last night, I'd never spoken to Fudo or any of them in this group anyway, or anybody on pros for that matter. Typically, a couple of them here and there. I had a conversation with BJ Lecrae once, and that was really awesome, really interesting guy. That was a while ago, but this was kind of like me being curious, right? I was like, I want to see what they're like. And so I went ahead and zoomed in. If I'm not mistaken, Mijong runs that. She organizes that whole thing, and I have been a huge fan. If you go back to the early videos, I talk about Mijong quite a bit. She's a staple in pros. She's just an awesome person. So she was there, and talking to her and so first of all, seeing all of these riders animated and laughing and smiling, and I'm going to go ahead and use Mijong here as my lightning rod because she inspired me to, I have a bottle of bourbon I've had here forever. And anyone who knows me knows that I'm not a big drinker. But when I do drink, I like to drink till I wouldn't say drunk, but decently buzzed. And I'll sleep and I'll wake up and I won't touch it for like 3 months. Not because, for no other reason than I don't like being hungover, right? Shocker. Who does? But what I realized was just how much fun I started having with them. And what I also realized is there were some new riders, some seasoned riders like Mijong and like Dave K. And I didn't see Dave K, but I think he was in a different room in his house. We had a great time. I mean, it was great. I was really kind of in a weird way, kind of geeking out seeing them in the flesh, or so to speak. So I ended up sipping bourbon. And again, it wasn't like I was slamming shots or gulping it down. I didn't have any water in the booth, and I should have. I was just kind of sipping it throughout the 2 hours or hour and a half, however long I was on with them. And I just got pretty buzzed. And I felt bad because I think I might have started blabbing a lot. And when I get loose around people, normally I don't talk to a lot of people. And I think I was just like, it's super like blah 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 blah. And anyone who knows me knows that when I get buzzed, I wear my heart in my sleeve, and I get kind of emotional, and it's hilarious. And I should never drink around people if I want to make a good first impression. So if there was any kind of mystery shrouded around the guy who thought of pros, I'm sure I shattered it, destroyed it, and will never get that back from this group. But I don't want that. I like being a complete and total transparent geek. But the problem is, I woke up this morning really trashed, even from the little bit that I drank. So I sent Mijong a message going, hey, sorry if I was buzzed and wordy. And I said, that could be a rap song. So she wrote me back on Discord, so gracious, so forgiving. And because I know I made an ass out of myself. I just know I did. And there's no two ways around that. I always do when I get buzzed. And I've just embraced that remorse. But she sent me this thing. I'm going to read it from my phone. She said, so I asked Bard to make a rhyme off, try to catch me buzzed and wordy. This is what it wrote. Let me pull this up on my phone. Okay, yeah. Try to catch me buzzed and wordy. I'll be talking circles around you. I'll be so creative and witty, you'll be begging me to stop. But I won't stop. I'll keep going until you're all laughing and smiling. I'll make you forget all your troubles and just enjoy the moment. So come on, try to catch me buzzed and wordy. I dare you. Oh, then she wrote, it's pretty bad, but also funny. AI rappers will never win the battle. See, that's so what a cool response from her. She could have been like, yeah, well, you're a jackass, which would be true. But she was so nice about it. And so I asked her if it would be okay if I shot this video. And she sent me the PDF of last night. So thank you guys. And also before I do this, before I show this PDF to everybody on YouTube, I wanted to say last night I wasn't drunk. I was just buzzed, right? And and when I gave you all my phone number and said, hey, hit me up if you ever have any questions or just want to shoot the breeze about writing, I meant that. So, often when you meet somebody new and you get buzzed with them and they take the friendly too far and then they wake up and go, oh shit, what did I do? No, I'm glad I did that because any one of you can hit me up anytime you want. If I'm able to talk or text, I will. That offer stands, drunk or sober. I really had a good time with you guys last night. And again, apologies if I was me. All right. So here we go. This is this guy. Pootsky. What a beautiful man. But there was something about this guy when we were in the chat last night and just a nice guy and I don't mean that I mean that in the purest sense of the word. Like, what a nice guy. And he was so relatable and so, I don't know, he was just so calm and wise. I just liked this guy quite a bit. And we talked about everything from the balloon fiesta in New Mexico to this to that. And all of us talked about life, breakup, heartbreak, death, life, writing. It was just a beautiful conversation to me to have with 8 people I'd really never met. So, and not formally. This girl, she is awesome. She is so funny. We had a blast. All of these profiles, I'm going to link all of these into the description. And Fudo, I can't say enough good things about Fudo. I'm going to stop on Led Levy for 1 second because I told him last night, I said, when I first got back to being the pros admin, right down south, before I moved west, when I became the actual admin, Led Levy, this is the first profile I ran across as far as writers I hadn't seen before on the app. And I told him, I read some of your stuff and I thought, wow, this is the level. I like this a lot. Read Led Levy. He's a hell of a writer, hell of a poet. Sad Hill is new, interesting fella himself. He wrote last night. It was good to see him too, animated. So Diana H. Forst, this was interesting because she is an artist on DeviantArt, and she's also read this writer. She's just she's fun to read, and she's super fun to talk to. I mean, she's a blast. So who else was on there? Well, of course, Mi Zhang, but somebody that was on there that I didn't pull up because I pulled her up, but I closed the last tab. Let me find her. Oh yeah, here we go. The Wolf Den was there. I feel like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, right? I feel like a hungover Dorothy. And Diane Forst was there, and the Wolf Den was there, and Led Levy was there, and you were there. She was there, and it was so cool to see her, especially after all the buzz this week from her. I mean, she had the post of the week double feature with the audio and that voice of hers, and then she won the challenge of the month. And so she was there with her newborn. We got to see the baby. He was adorable. And she had to skate out early because, being a mommy. And so, but it was so cool to see her as well and talk to her. She's a really, really, really awesome person to see and talk to. And I made a comment earlier about everybody when I said, Sometimes when you don't actually when you don't actually know somebody except for through text or digital language, they can seem kind of hard. They can have an edge to them. And then when you see them, though, and I made a comment to them on the Discord chat, and I said, it's nice to see you guys like softer and warmer. These were the writers: Mijong, Diana H. Forst, The Wolf Den, Led Levy, Fudo, Dave K, Pootsky, love me some Pootsky, and Christiana. And you guys, all of you, it was an honor, and thank you for having me on there. If I never go on there again, for no other reason than I'm not a good collaborator, even though my challenge is a collaboration. I know a lot of people out there love to do that. And I love to read that. I'm just no damn good at doing it. So this is the PDF that Mijong sent me. And this is a recap of last night. But I don't know who wrote what. They don't put their names on this. It's just a collab. It's all one piece from these awesome 8 people, right? But look at these lines, you guys. I mean, this is beautiful. From the root it bled, gave birth to comfort, splitting, open to new shades. The land knew not to fear because life comes from death, and life leads to death. Just like the circle of fungi that encircles the rotting stump, life too forms a circle. After many phases of the earth spinning through the void, a new oak rises from its nourishing center. I mean, come on. This was so fun to watch happen last night. For me, it was like being fed intravenously ketamine or something. So you know what I mean, or whatever gets you into that state of euphoria. For me, it just shows the range of these writers and just how open and great they are. And I want to say from the bottom of my heart and from our staff, thank each and every one of you for last night. And thank you as well for understanding that I am a babbling idiot, but showing up and talking to you guys really made just how wonderful and terrific and all those adjectives that this app has become more vivid, and it's really all because of all of you. Dave K made a comment last night, and I want to touch upon this before I close out. Dave K says something that meant so much to me, and he said, it's funny because everything changes on social media. There's always something going on, something different, this and that, but prose has stayed the same, and I just love that. It's that same core, that same soul. And I walked away from that conversation so proud. We all hung up, and I remember so thanks, Dave, for that, by the way. That was a real shot in the arm. That was awesome. And I remember I closed my computer. I got back to some people who've been trying to reach me, and then I walked my dogs. I slammed like half a gallon of water and some ibuprofen, and I walked my dogs. And I thought about it. I thought about the entire conversation, and it was good. So hopefully I did not blow my image of myself to you guys, but I'm quite certain I did. But it's what I do. I had a blast. I want to thank you guys for a great night. To each and every one of you, thank you again. And to everybody watching this video and everybody on Prose, thank you for being here. Hope your weekend is good. Be safe and take good care.